happen. Better Days is the song off the album Hoffman Road. Good friends of ours here on the program. Been on a couple times. Seen them perform. Got another show coming up at Sweeney's in a few weeks. We'll talk about that as an age disclosure. For tonight, we put a pause on that. We say good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Wednesday night, we're right back with another brand new edition of the show. You coming soon. Brent Athen got a shirt on tonight too. Why not? Why not celebrate a lot of great live, local, loud music tonight? No exception. Freedom King Films with a YP and then a Yo. Yo, what's up, brother? Tonight, an awesome rock band, vintage sound, New York City's own Witchforce. All right. Coming up around 8:30 this evening. Great band. Got a couple songs to play from them. A couple of new ones, Into the Woods and The Hunter, coming up shortly. Great band. Super cool. Watching from work, Ryan Beckett in the house. Good evening. Thank you for watching from work. I'm working. I worked all day. God, today was a hard day. The heat's not making it any better either. Man, we were slam-packed busy. And it was a killer. No problem. We made it. We made it here tonight, of course, because that is first and foremost getting here. And that's very important to us. I want to give a massive thank you and shout out to last night's guest, the band Calloused. Awesome metal band making their move. We had them on, played a couple of their songs. And of course, Vin from American Mosh Pit. Shout out to American Mosh Pit. Shout out to Vin. Great time last night had by all. Last Wednesday, a massive thank you again to the incredible Cat Rivers and the Second Sight. Abso-stinking-lutely. Brent Worrell will testify to what I said in the beginning of the show. I'm ready for Brent Athen at Sweeney's again. Always a good time. Dude, it's a couple weeks away. They already announced the July date. I will get it to you. We will get there. Check out some Brent Athen. They're a great band. Of course, Ryan Beckett, Milo Sky, another one of them great bands out there in this area. Play great rock sounds. Cover some songs. Do a lot of great original songs. Brent Athen and Milo Sky and bands like that just out there absolutely doing it. Witchforce is a great one coming out of New York. Callous, like I said, Maryland, the PA sound, all that. We're here for it every Tuesday and Wednesday night. I'm ready for Sydney Sweeney at Sweeney's. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for to chug some beers with Sydney Sweeney. I wonder if she's around. There she is. The gratuitous Sydney Sweeney montage, if you will, for a great Wednesday night. Witchforce, like I said, coming up around 8:30 this evening. They are a super cool band. I enjoy them. And again, the magic of social media. You're coming through your sites, coming through Instagram. This band comes up. I'm like, I say it. I love it. Let's reach out. Let's get them on the program. Quick to respond to. So thank you to the gang from Witchforce. One more day of work and then 5 days off, and I need it badly. Wife is still in Aruba. A shout out. Maybe she'll pop her face in. Kinsey King in the house. Speaking of terrific singers, Mr. Kinsey King. Good evening, dude. A big you to you as well. And yeah, man, we're ready to do it. Ready to do a Wednesday night thing. Of course, I want to remind everybody of a couple of the awesome things that we are a part of here at the O Show. Of course, we're going to get all the way up here to find it. With that, we are a proud sponsor of 717 Entertainment. We're talking about that last night, of course, with Vin and Calloused. The awesome Nick Myers and team at 717 Entertainment. The O Show went out and did some sponsoring this year for this great entertainment company. And we'll do it every year because Nick does a great job. We're also a proud partner of Delco Jams. Shout out to Rob and Mandy and the great video work they do at Delco Jams. Check out both of them, 717 Entertainment on all your social media sites. And of course, Delco Jams as well on all your social media sites. It's good to be the king. The Kinsey King, of course. And one more thing that we do is the Key Concert Series. Of course, monthly, the guys at SRR Promotions, the Yo Show, go out to a great venue, and we bring great acts. And I'm telling you, this one here is clutch. Absolutely amazing. They're calling it Rock Fest Key Concert Series this Saturday, June 28th. Doors open at 6 for an incredible lineup and kind of a double bill, if you will. Two great stages, of course, a rock stage, an acoustic stage, and we feature former guest Crooked Ways, one of the absolute hard rockinest bands around. Darkfly, we've had with us before. They're a great band. The Grimjacks and the Jaspers, four incredible bands taking the rock stage. Then they have the acoustic room downstairs. Our great friends, Burden of Guilt, will be in the house for that one. And the lovely Justina and Sophie will be doing their show as well. Going to be incredible. You can get the tickets. Get them. Cosmic Art Studio, 310 East High Street, Pottstown, PA, this Saturday night. Yo Show in the house, as well as SRR Promotion, great bands, Crooked Ways, Darkfly, the Grimjacks, the Jaspers, Burden of Guilt, and Justina and Sophie. Divide and conquer this weekend. I feel you, bro. Yo in the dark here in the Northland. You didn't lose power, did you, bro? Well, power losing was like all last week, but it's happened again to people because it's hot out. It's hot out, it's stormy out, and it's just a mess. It's an absolute mess out there. Power out, but this is a lesson to everybody. This man right here, J.D. Wolf. Power is out. He says, you know what, though? It's still Tuesday and Wednesday, or Wednesday night. I need some Yo Show. Tell your friends. Tell your friends about this dude as well. Get out here. Support the band. Support me. Let's have some fun. We do it every Tuesday and Wednesday right here. Power out, power on, power surge. You name it, you bring it. And there's even a second microphone because there's more coming soon. We got to get our tech crew in here this weekend and try to get the finishing touches on a bigger, better studio. The Yo Show saves. We try, my friend. We absolutely do. Kinsey King says, hello. Car has power. You can watch. Hey, man, whatever. Whatever it takes. I am too powerful. I'm shocking the airways. Even my internet's sketchy tonight. Oh, man. Enough about me. Let's play some music because this band kicks ass. Witchforce is the band out of New York City. And we got a great one. They have two great brand new songs out. One is called Into the Woods. And I don't see why the heck not. We're not going to play it right now. We're going to play it right now. Into the Woods is a lyrical video, which is always fun. This way you get to learn the words. It's about 4 minutes and 21 seconds. We're ready for it. As my dogs are getting excited for it too by going crazy. Let's get it. Tonight's guest, Witchforce, Into the Woods. Right here live. This is the Yo Show. Wednesday night. We'll be back. Enjoy this awesome tune.
Never stop to answer every
Holy friggin' shit. Awesome stuff. Man, Witchforce tonight's very special guest, Into the Woods. And man, I tell you, guys like me, maybe guys like J.D. Wolf, some of you dudes out there, you remember, man, what those times were like? That's like vintage my time. 80s, 90s kind of sound. Cruising the mall, picking up the ladies with the high hair and the great hairspray. Awesome stuff. I want to say hello to everybody watching out there on YouTube, of course. Like and subscribe. YouTube, The Yo Show. It's free. People out there watching on Twitch, follow us on Twitch. Is that what you do on Twitch? You follow? Follow on Twitch. Facebook, of course. Like us and like us there. It's always easy. It's The Yo Show. THYOSHOW. Know the logo. Got it right this time. Subscribe, man. Follow. Like. It's all free. Delco Jams in the Hizzy. Last week, a great time with Delco Jams. We had a blast, dude. Cat Rivers was here. Rob and Mandy were in the house. Just having a blast. These guys bring great videos. This Friday, Harris Casino, of course, The Block. A couple great bands playing there again. The Loud and Local thing. Delco over there getting some film. We'll most likely be there as well. Our great friends from Seems Like Tuesday in the house. As well as the Just Imagine, I believe. Is that the Green Shades dude is in the house? You know it. Love me some Green Shades dude. Like I said, we're talking about some stuff here. We noticed the table's a little different setup. We're moved over a bit. That's all because we're building it out. Brand new giant table. Brand new microphone. Roadcaster. This microphone. We've spoken to Miss Jewel Tatey. She was in the house last week. And she said she's ready to go. Wants to come back to the family. And Tuesday nights will never be the same. She's amazing. She's ready. She looks great. She's doing great. Misses the audience here. Misses the crowd. Misses the Tuesday nights. Under construction indeed. It might be for a while because me and this roadcaster are not getting along at all. But we're going to make it work. It butchered the music, which I don't like. And I had an echo. We don't want the music to come out bad. I know we're not super high tech, but when we play the band's music off YouTube or however we share it, we want it to come out pretty good because we don't want a crap performance. We want it to sound great. And sometimes technology makes it a little shady, but it comes out great. She is family, and I thank you for that because I like to know the fact that people want her back here. And I told her way back when the break first came, it's going to be tough on me, of course. It's going to be tough on a lot of our audience. And she said, don't count me out. Just give me this break, and then we'll talk. And we did. And like I said, everything's going good. She's doing good. We look forward to it. I don't see this falling through. There's sometimes they don't jump into the future. I don't see this falling through. She definitely does seem ready to come back and join the family here on the Yo Show. I've got some connections. Like I said, our good friend Brent Royale was mentioned getting into the house and checking this thing out. Whatever it takes. We got to get the roadcaster rolling, make it even more crisp. Have me and Joel actually in the same room together like we did way back in that little break where we had that studio for a few episodes. Union 215. That was cool. I like being in the studio. Who was in the studio with us? I'm trying to remember. St. Ricketts, Troy David Hendrickson, Mike Nappy, St. Ricketts, Troy David Hendrickson, Mike Nappy. Of course, Emily Cipriano. I won't forget that. It was Emily's birthday. What a show. I wish I could find that episode somewhere and get it out there. It was me. It was the beautiful Emily, who actually did a couple guest co-host spots. She did that little pole dance thing on my birthday to 1 year. She's awesome. We love her. Steve Woodsell rocks from Patty Boom Videos. Well, I'm with it. I feel that. I totally feel that. Oh, do you? Me and her in the same room. I pity that poor girl. But we did it before, like I said, within that studio. If you, like I said, if you subscribe on YouTube, go all the way back closer to the beginning, you see we had a little studio room. Me and Jewel were together side by side. It went pretty good, I thought. I had a great time with it, so we're looking to do it again. We have bigger screens, cameras, a bunch of lights here. I actually got 3 ring lights. The magic, ladies and gentlemen, of course, of Facebook Marketplace, you can find just about anything at the right price. Except this table. Bought this full-blown retail. Whew. 8:20. Let's talk about a couple things. We haven't been doing topics lately, and that absolutely stinks. Because that's part of what we do here. We do the topics. And let's get one. Let's get it going. Let's get one right here. How about this one? Human compost. Yep, you're hearing it correctly. A lot of people are choosing this as a form of afterlife. Kind of cremating themselves and being made into soil. And then that soil can be spread around their home. I've seen that. Are they hot? Not quite sure what you mean there. But yeah, man, this to me is another crazy piece in the world we live in today. That people are being made into soil. And cremation is cheaper, right? I want to be cremated. It's on the record. But to be made into soil, like that, and there's like a weird is behind that too. Like, oh, I want to be turned into dirt form and placed around my front yard. There is a certain just mind-numbing feeling over this whole thing. And when I heard the story, I was like, nah, this can't be real. I'm like, you know what? Let's bring it out. Because it is real. So we're bringing it out. We're going to do it last night, but we got so caught up in music, we didn't. But tonight we got a little bit of time before Witchforce gets here, so let's talk about it. Everybody's got a fear of how they die. Of course. Everybody's got a fear of death. I had my my bypass surgery. I came close. And I guess you're all wet. That's correct. That right there is a fabulous question. Listen, we don't have like a horrible ways to die. A lot of people say drowning. I, of course, drowning. Burning in a fire. That, of course, is scary. Accident, car accident, plane crash. There's a lot of horror. There really is no good way to go. A lot of like really drastic ways to go. But I never thought about like the best way to spend your afterlife. There's cremation. There's, of course, burial, etc. But like J.D. Wolf said, what if a heavy rain comes? Your human compost, your soil. What if a dog shits on you? What? You live the rest of your life now embedded in dog shit. Are we growing plants out of you? Like, is that what you want to be? You want to be something that holds a plant the rest of your life? I got so many, like, to me it sounded wilder than it does now. We got a disclaimer off topic, but a Jeff Yosho Funko Pop would be lit. Don't think we haven't started styling it, and don't think it ain't coming, because it is. You're in the neighbor's yard being shit on. Mandy, of course. Delco James as well. In the house. We appreciate it. Had a great time there. We love bringing them in as guest co-hosts. We're going to do that more. Because like I said, we like to do the Tuesdays and the Wednesdays. Jewel usually takes the Tuesdays. The Wednesdays, we get a little bit of everybody. Rob and Amanda, we had a great time last week. And I like when she just comes out of nowhere with great drop-ins. Hell yeah. Always a good time. Oh, it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. There's so many things that are coming to the show. We actually had one, and as it's getting later in the season, I think we might miss it this year, but We'll discuss it. Again, I don't like to pre-discuss things that can blow up in my face if they don't happen. I'm putting it directly to you, Lita Ford, because if you remember correctly, twice in the past, we dealt with these PR people that were bringing us Lita Ford, and both times it did not happen. So we don't overspeak. And we still don't hate. Jules said, do not hate. All right, fair. Still remain a fan of Lita Ford. That's how we do it. 8:25, I see one of the members of Witchforce has already made their way backstage, and I wait for the few others, and we'll bring them out shortly. We played their awesome tune here. It's a great band. I really like these dudes and lady a lot. It brings back a lot of great memories for me. Just the sound of the band brings me back to an era that I remember very well, back when rock music was the thing, and every weekend here, and I know there some of you, John Simons, will attest to this. I know some of you through the Philly area that remember the great rock clubs, the Empire Rock Club, and places like that, Cell Block, in the area. And music was such a thing to get to go to. And every weekend you got psyched up for it. Who were you going to go see? Where? Who was going to be there? Like I said, the girls with the high hair. And it was always a great time. It'd be great to have the bands on the Yo couch in the studio. We're working on that too. But they did do it right, John. I agree. Like somehow, like, and the thing that gets me when, we get these bands out here, and how great a lot of them are, and like I said, I find them through social media and the algorithm, and that's awesome. I love that, and I love being introduced to new bands. Back then, man, it was like John always said, the flyer. It was a flyer show. You passed out flyers. Hope to God people got the flyers. Hope to God they didn't make airplanes at them and throw them at other people. Hopefully they read it and said, wow, this looks cool. Let's go here. I'm with that. Jordan Raleigh, and this is Ethan. By the way, I hijacked Jordan. He's tied up in my car. What's up, friends? Good stuff. The Grimjacks, awesome local band in the house. Their drummer, Jordan, in the trunk. Yeah, man, JD, those were the times, man. And we joked around last night with Vin, American Mosh Pits, where I talked about seeing Ace Frehley at, I believe it was the Sunblock. Hey, man, I grew up a Kiss fan. What can I tell you? I was cool with that. Flyers and personal invites. People felt important and they came. There was no social media at that point in time, which made such a difference. You had to put a flyer in somebody's hand, actually had them hold it, and then bring it to the show at the door. Was like, wow, man, that's really cool. Like, you really thought about this all this time. I got no problem doing that again. Social media is your friend, though, but don't be afraid to hand out a flyer. Music is in our soul. Tommy, I see you backstage, man. Are you ready? Or are we going to wait for everybody else? We're going to spring us out and get started. What do we got? Thumbs up if you're ready. You're ready? Let's bring them out. All right, so tonight, as I said, Witchforce is our special guest. Played that incredible song earlier, Into the Woods. And man, like I said, if that doesn't give you nostalgic tingles of the time when rock was absolute king, I don't know what does. So we're going to start off with backstage right now. We're going to bring out Mr. Tommy Von Voigt. Tommy, how you doing, bro?
How's it going, man?
Going great. You're the connoisseur of premium riffage. Explain.
Well, it asked me to create a title if I wanted one. I'm like, all right, I'm going to come up with something ridiculous. So
it's actually awesome. I'm host creator, but I didn't realize that it's such a great way to expand. That's really freaking cool.
And there'll be a few more members joining us too. Cassie, the lead singer, is going to be joining us. Our bassist is currently racing home, but he's stuck in traffic, so he's going to try to get on in time. The only one that cannot join us is our drummer, who just had a baby.
Oh, awesome! Congratulations.
So he's got an excuse. So.
Don't drummers always have an excuse?
Well, this
Shout out
real.
to drummers. Okay, but we'll let that pass. I think a baby being born lets that pass. JD Wolf, of course, new fan in Minnesota. He checks us out every Tuesday and Wednesday and automatically takes the guests we have and adds them right away. Nice amp in the background, indeed. All my music friends popping up to check out the cool stuff. I see the guitars on the wall. Can't make out which they are. What kind of guitars you got up there? Looks like a great collection up there, dude. Oh, look at that.
Oh, starting from the end, 88 Strat, 289 Gunslingers, an 89 Gem 777, an 87 Destroyer, 85 Explorer, 284 Explorers, an 80 Greco Bitch Coffee, an 87 Bitch 6 with the Floyd, 83 Flying V, 95 Les Paul Standard, an 86 Neck Through Warlock, and an 82 Mockingbird just within eyesight.
Holy shit. And I'm torn to which one I love the best. I'm stuck between the Flying V and the British flag because those are badass, dude.
I mean, it's hard for me to choose just one. That's why I have them all out. But yeah, the amp behind me, that's actually that's legit. That's real. That's not a reissue, in case your friend is wondering. So.
Oh wow, that's legit right there.
I need it. I need it for premium riffage, man.
Absolutely. You can't put a headline up there and just have some regular little amp and like one guitar behind you. You need a room full of guitars.
Gotta have
one cooler than the next. So let's talk a little bit about the riffage and the awesome sound that is Witchforce, because again, I mentioned social media, Instagram kind of put you in my face. I immediately loved it. Tell us about this band and how you got started with these awesome people.
I mean, this band is basically a dream come true for me.
Awesome.
It's kind of the band I always wanted to have for years, ever since I started playing music. This actually came out of COVID, believe it or not.
Wow.
When everyone was now staying, what would be like I stayed home for like months and months and months, and I was like, what if I tried writing some metal songs? I mean, literally, that was the genesis of it. And the next step was, well, I got to put together a band to do this. Let's put together a band with the best musicians I can think of that are also like the nicest possible people.
Awesome.
I actually managed to pull that off. And we just gelled, man. And the sound you're hearing on the recordings is the sound of 5 people who get along great. Everyone's bringing something incredibly valuable to the table, and it's just working,
That's clutch. I'm going to go back on something you just said, because I talk about this a lot with bands. And you said 5 people that get along. And you hear some of the bands been around forever, like your Aerosmith and your Kiss, and say, look, we're not friends. Band is our business. This is work. We go to work, and we go our separate ways. We don't hang out. We don't eat dinner. We don't get together. Doesn't that sound ridiculous to you, though? Like, you're creative. It's beyond business. It's creative minds.
It sounds like people who have lost the plot at that point, and for them, it's
Perfect.
basically just become something that they clock into. I kind of pity a band that reaches that point. I mean, I'm envious of their success, but I pity the interpersonal relationships they have. With us, this was not something like we were holding auditions and we had to have people come try out, and that's when we met them. Like,
yeah,
oh, nice, just saw that. This was all people that I had done shows with in various capacities, doing like tribute shows or other projects. So we all knew each other. We all worked together in one form or another. And I was like, yes, this is a great person. I want to work with this person on this original project. And that's how it happened. So we came together as friends.
That's awesome. And definitely a clutch way to do it. And a lot of bands, because, we follow a lot of teenage bands, up-and-coming bands, local, etc., of all different age groups. And a lot of them start out as college buddies or high school buddies or people that have been together a long time. It works. And like you said, man, I don't know if I would, yeah, you want to trade success and money, sure. But I don't know if I'd ever want to get to that point where I'm like, I don't like these people. Like, imagine doing this podcast with somebody else and be like, I hate this person. I can't imagine that.
It would become a chore. And I think that eventually the novelty of any situation wears off. And if you were doing a bunch of successful touring and you had an album on the charts, this, that, and the other thing, but you hated the people you were doing with, eventually the novelty of the fact that you're a successful musician and you have fans, I think you'd lose sight of that. And all you'd focus on is the fact that you hate the people you're doing it with.
Right.
I don't know how successful you have to be to prevent that from happening, but I think you'd lose sight of the fact that you made it and you'd become bitter.
I guess so. It sounds weird, and it sounds weird to somebody like me. Like, I would kill to have this be like the biggest show in the world and Sirius Satellite and all that. And then my wife says, sometimes be careful what you wish for, because you're having fun. It's a hobby. You get to meet awesome people. You get to talk, and you're more of a welcoming fan base kind of guy than you get to be this guy too big, and you don't want this guest on your show. You don't want these people checking it. I don't know if that's for me.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I look at like what we're doing with Witchforce, and we're doing everything on our terms, and we're loving every second of it, and it's all been nothing but positivity. I don't know if things got to the point where it was a really big deal, would the stress start to cause us to lose focus on the fact that we're doing what we hope to achieve?
Right.
And that could happen. Sure. Be careful what you wish for. Like if this podcast you have were to absolutely explode and you were the next Joe Rogan Experience with his listener base.
Yeah.
I think any podcast host could hope to be that big.
Sure.
And would it become like it's your job and now there's all these demands and the pressure to keep putting content out there and keep satisfying your fan base? I don't know. I mean, I suppose it would be a nice problem to experience, right?
Yeah, maybe, sure. Everybody should get like a free trial, like a 30-day trial to see how they handle it.
I'll take it. I'll tell you what. If Witchforce can sign to like Atlantic Records for just a month, we'll just see. Just test the waters and see if we like it.
Sure. I like that. That's actually a great idea. Any of you entrepreneurs out there, genius idea. 30-day take your shot kind of thing. Because, and with the likes of Joe Rogan and with the likes of big bands, go watch everything you say. Everybody's listening to you now when you're that big. And what do you mean by that? And what's this supposed to be? And then you're on reels all over social media. Reels of you talking over and over again, just hoping that you don't make a ridiculous blunder somewhere along the line.
I mean, that pressure is honestly very real. I mean, we really try quite hard to make sure that we're always putting our best foot forward as a band. And we feel that we have a very, very positive message that we're very proud of. But in spite of all that, things that you say and your lyrical content could be completely misconstrued.
Sure.
And if you're not there to correct someone, well, it doesn't matter then. Now they think the wrong thing. And what can you do about that?
I agree. We're going to look backstage. Steve has made his way backstage. Cassie's back there, but no picture. I don't know if that's something she's working on, or maybe we'll bring her out without the photo. Not sure.
Oh, she's having equipment issues or something. But,
I got you.
But if Steve's ready to go, you bring him on out.
Yeah, let's bring Steve out here, and because your opinions, Tommy, are perfect. I hate to hear how Steve ruins this. Nah, just kidding, everybody. From Witchforce, let's welcome Steve Woodsell. Steve, you already had fans in the chat earlier saying how you rock. So
that's crazy.
But it is true because he's the Strike Master General.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's amazing. That means a lot. My God.
We should have put that on his headline.
Missed opportunity.
So, Steve, we were talking to Tommy about the band, man, and how great they are. And I'm a big fan of Witchforce. And again, social media kind of puts bands out there. I was on Instagram, like, all right, Witchforce, let's check it out. I'm like, wow, really good. Reached out to you guys, and you're like, we'd love to do it. I'm like, shit, let's go. So, thanks again for that as well. And we asked Tom stuff about bands getting together, and he said the finished project is 5 people who are on the same page, 5 people with the same dream. Then we started talking about rock bands that just say it's a job, like the Kiss, Aerosmith. It's our job. We're not friends. We don't hang out. Blah blah. How do you feel? Is that even slightly possible to not get along with the people in your band?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, if you're making billions of dollars, maybe, but I think
billions. We found the number, Tom. It's billions.
I think that everything changes with enough zeros.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. No, I mean, I think it's pretty important, though. I mean, especially if you're doing any kind of creative collaboration stuff, because I think it's very, you always have to be very vulnerable. And if you don't have, like, respect for the people you're talking to, then it's pretty hard to not just be vulnerable about creative ideas, but also, like, take feedback and stuff and not take it personally and understand the vision and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think it's pretty critical. And it's fun. Sure.
I agree with that. Now, I heard you guys have a horrible riff with one of the members of your band, Daniel. No, I'm just screwing. You came backstage. I had to throw that out. Daniel, welcome to the show, dude. Thanks for coming out.
I'm gonna try to join this
darn
chat.
It. He made it. Darn.
The bass player's here.
Shh, everyone quiet.
Your microphone might be on mute because we can't hear you. We see you, but we can't hear you as of yet. And we'll see how Cassie's doing as well. Still no picture, but that's Cassie in the corner. Cassie, can you hear us? Are you with us?
How about that?
Oh, we got you. All right, so Daniel.
I hear you, baby.
All right.
The last person left is Cassie. We'll leave her hang there and see if she can join us. Anyway, to both of you, Steve and Daniel, since you're a little newer to the show, I thank you guys for coming on. I'm a huge fan of absolutely, I'm a huge fan of this band. It didn't take much. Again, social media throws it out there. I find this band. I listen to music. Your new stuff that's out, I'm like, oh my God, is this so me? You guys actually bring me back to an era. You're a modern band, but you bring me back to an era, the 80s and 90s, with the girls with the big hairspray. Places like the Empire Rock Club. And Philly was just swarmed, and I'm sure New York was too, swarmed with venues and bars and arenas to just hang out at, see some awesome bands. Daniel, was that like your growing up thing, or are you a little younger for that time?
No, I'm actually 50.
Oh, all right, I'm right there with you. I'm a couple years older, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess my experience was more on the heavier side, and I liked the death metal when it was coming up and the extreme, the stuff like New York's slam kind of stuff. But there was a lot of shows to go to. You can look in whatever paper was local to you and just find hundreds of shows every night. So yeah, it was when I could get out back then. I worked a lot when I was younger, so I didn't have a whole lot of time. But when I could get out, it was a lot of fun.
I feel it seemed to be a lot musically, especially around here where I was at in Philly. There was so many places, and everybody was making a move every weekend to get to music. Now I'm going to ask all three is, in your opinion, because to me it hasn't happened, to you it hasn't happened, but why did it seem to maybe lose a little bit of its luster where that was automatic? We'll start with Tommy. What do you think changes people's minds about more music and more live stuff and original bands?
God, that's a tough question. I ask myself all that all the time.
Daily, I swear to you, I do.
It's rough. It's almost like year by year, people are getting more and more conditioned to not really consider the idea of going and seeing live music as something fun for them to do. And I know one thing that doesn't help, and I don't know what the solution for this is you can't really ever know if you're going to go see a local show, if it's going to be any good at all. I don't know. I don't know the fix to that. I mean,
don't suck, I guess.
It's part of the
I mean, that's the responsibility of the bands. But it's you hear about the glory days of the 70s and the 80s. People going to shows just as a matter of habit, and they just knew there was going to be a good time.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like that's quite the same way anymore, and I don't really know why. But it's unfortunate, and that's the era that we're operating in now, and that's what we just have to deal with,
A little bit. Before I get the answers from the rest of the band, we're going to welcome Cassie to the program. Who's made her way in. She has made it.
Hi. It's the magic.
Hello there. Right? And, gentlemen, allow the lady to get here whenever she's ready.
That's
ladies,
right.
They say ladies first. Tonight it's ladies last. And we're okay with that. Welcome to the show. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. The subject we're on now is kind of talking to the guys because we talked about like back in the day where everybody was out seeing music. New York, of course, Philly. And it's taking a step back where we're trying to get maybe anybody's philosophy on why. Because I know me, every weekend I'm looking for something. Like I used to do all these years. A lot of my friends do, but there's a lot of people who don't. We'll go to Steve. Steve, why do you think, man, your opinion?
I guess there's probably a lot of things. I think part of it is that, because I've thought about this a lot too, I think that back in the day that was probably more of like a unique escapism you could get, and I feel like we have a lot of escapism you can get like at home now. So I think it's maybe not as exciting for people because it's like, I don't know, like that was probably such a crazy thing in the 80s to like go to a metal show and just be like, what's going on? But now it's like, you can sort of get that on the internet or, there's so much stimulation everywhere. I feel like people probably just don't get sort of like overwhelmed by it quite as much, and then maybe it's just not as present in their minds. But I
I
don't know.
get
People
that.
still go to shows though. Like people obviously, there's huge tours and stuff going on, so there's some appetite for it.
True. And I mean, you see some of the bands, and Daniel will take it down to you. You see some of the bands saying now, like, don't film us. Put your phones away. Don't give anybody a taste of what's going on. And let them come experience it. What do you think, Daniel, about that issue? And just like I said, that what's keeping people from getting more into the seats?
I think I share some of Tommy and Steve's, opinion. I think there are people are have a lot more access to entertainment right at their fingertips, right? So it becomes almost numb to it. But to the other point, and this took a little bit of humility on my part. For years, I just wasn't that good of a player.
Wow.
Right? Like, and
Don't believe it.
This in not in a way of degrading anything, but there is a difference between when I was playing bass for 5 years versus playing bass for almost 20. The ability to listen to a good song, and speak to it, or even write a good song. When you look at the 70s and 80s, when there was no internet or anything to constantly distract people, they just practiced all day, right? So by the time you get on stage, you are sharp. Now, everybody here, Steve plays in many, many projects and records his own stuff. Tommy's been writing music for years. Cassie's an active musician. I have the reputation of playing in everybody's band. So does Salchi, the drummer. So we're constantly playing. And when you go out and see a band that's just really strikes you, even if they're playing a style of music you've heard 100 times, if they're very practiced, their intent really shines.
New York space flight. And
their intent really shines through,
Like we got funny, we have the same combo in classical world every day. Why people don't go out like they used to. And especially now, and the reason I bring this to Cassie, first of all, it's my wife's name, so I love that.
Oh, love that.
But
Nice.
we'll bring this before we ask you your opinion, because now there's a lot more female singers, female fronted bands, which isn't a genre. It's just a thing. It's not like, they're a female. That's none of that. And females are starting to really kick ass in this world too. More people should be getting out to experience that much more of everything. Do you have an opinion why you think people just go out a little bit less? To me, I don't get it. I love being out.
I agree with everything that my counterpart said before me. I also think COVID was a big thing for people. It separated us from something that was huge, which is community. And I feel that and bands create community, right? Like we don't listen to bands just to listen to the music. We listen to bands to connect with people, to connect with the people that come to see the shows, make friends, find love interests, all of those things. So I think our job as musicians is to create that community and make people feel like they're welcome to it. I was talking to someone recently and they were saying, since COVID, I don't get out of my house. I talk to AI more. I don't hang out with my friends anymore. So we're seeing people with a loss of connection. And I think that as a musician, and I know we've talked about this in the band before, our major thing is to find a way to connect with our fans and with the people who love us and love the music and who we love, and try and create that community again, because I think we're losing it as a general humanity problem. I think, we're lacking touch. We're lacking communication and speaking to people and knowing how to do that. And people have short tempers now. They don't really know how to communicate their feelings. So I think we're seeing a loss of connection.
Wow, it's a great way to put it. Community is the word that we use around here. A lot of the bands that I follow that come on this show. And I love that word, and it is connection. And the funny thing is about connection. Now, okay, I'll still do it. I went, that Metallica show, Metallica, Pantera, Suicidal Tendencies, great show. But there's also 80, 90,000 people. So they're going to walk up to Metallica at the show and say, hey, good set, man. I loved it. When you go see these local artists at these shows, a lot of times at the end we see is breaking down, say, hey, man, great set. Thanks for coming out. We love it. And most of you were very receptive in return to just thank us and all that. We'll start with Daniel, man. How does it feel to get that close interaction with fans and people to come out and view? Because to me, I love, even if I share a minute with a musician, just to hear their overall feel. How do you feel at the end, man, when you get to connect with people like that? Daniel, we gave you the ball, bro.
Oh. I switched to the big screen so I could see it better, and then apparently just too much for my brain to handle. I mean, I love that. It is a very humbling experience when somebody comes up to you and says that your show moved them or your performance moved them. It's a big deal, and that has never changed. It's been a big deal since the first time it happened, and I'm very, very fortunate to be in bands that it still happens with. So it's overwhelming, and it does. It speaks to that thing Cassie was talking about. Like, people still do want that connection, right? So it's still there. We just have to work a little harder for it, but it never gets old. It never gets old.
I guess it builds a little power and confidence that people are focused on loving it. Steve, your opinion?
Yeah, I think I agree with what all these guys said. I think it definitely never gets old. It's always feels really good to know that you're doing something that people care about, especially because putting shows together is always hard. It's always kind of like a little stressful and crazy.
Yes.
And like even getting one person after being like, whoa, it's like, yeah, it really like reminds you why you're going through all the hassle in the first place. And I think that's good. And yeah, just like Cassie was saying, knowing that you're like impacting people out in the real world who actually are like shared, you're sharing the space in the room together and everything. And it's,
sure,
there's something kind of profound about that. And just knowing that you've made that happen is definitely, big chunk of what it's all about, I would say.
I like it. Tommy, do people get in awe when they get to meet the connoisseur of premium riffage, or is it just kind of like a basic conversation?
No, it's usually pretty chill. It's pretty chill for them. It's usually pretty overwhelming for me. It always floors me when we get approached after shows, and or we play the set and I see people lining up over by the merch, and it can be overwhelming emotionally, in a good way, obviously, but it's just like, damn, because and like Steve was talking about the build up to the show, the stress, getting everything up and running, and then the intensity of the actual performance, and it's just like, and now it's good night, and then it's like, okay, now it was just this crazy momentum and stress and anxiety, and now it's all done, and now people are like, yo, that was dope as hell, that was fucking amazing, that reminded me of this, oh man, you guys are great, and I'm like, oh man, it kind of feels weird now to just calm down and breathe.
Believe it or not, I get that 100%. I get that way here. Like at the end of the night, I end the show around 10 o'clock, usually 9:30, 10 o'clock. And I get off and I'm like, wow, that was so cool. And I go back and I re-listen to the music. And I'm like, man, that was just great. And then a couple days later, I'll re-watch the show. I'm like, man, I have just some of the coolest guests. I get lucky. I always say, like, in 8 years, I've never missed. I've always had awesome guests, great people. Cassie, at the end of the show, and then, I just want to ask out of curiosity, are you approached by more men that say, wow, your singing is incredible, or more women that say, wow, I want to be like that, your singing is incredible?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't really pay attention to that, to be honest. I just see people as people. So when they come up to me, I'm just grateful. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but have you ever actually gone up to someone and said, whoa, like your voice or that riff or whatever, it takes so much courage to actually even start that conversation, that when someone has the courage to actually take time out of their day and feel awkward and come up to me and be like, whoa, I loved that. It's just mind blowing every time. And for me, it doesn't matter if it's a guy or a girl, although I love seeing women come up and tell me like, whoa, I haven't seen someone who has a voice like you. I'm definitely in a space where I think there's not a lot of women out there. So it's nice to see the women come front and center and just be so excited to see someone who looks like them on stage doing the thing. So I do appreciate that a lot, but I appreciate everything that anyone ever says to me. I think it's great all around. So
that's awesome. And I love getting up there and talking, and my wife has gotten into, my wife's a big talker too. She loves to talk. After an hour, you see the poor band member like, I gotta pack up, lady. Thanks. I gotta get the hell out of here. But and she gets into it. She's learning bass, and she really gets into talking to musicians. Oh, she's a bass all the way. I love her for it. And and it gets that excitement. Let's talk about New York, because man, that's a tough stomping ground. A lot of people are out there. Either it's California, LA, or New York, and you hear a lot of the bands compare that. We'll go around the room. We'll start with Cassie. New York, how is it treating you, and how hard is it to really make a name for yourself out there?
Wow. I'm originally from Canada. I've been in New York for 15 years doing music, and it has been as incredible of a place as it has been a roller coaster of a place. And I think a lot of people would say the same. I think there's so much opportunity in New York. There are so many people looking for really cool and interesting projects here. I grew up in the middle of a forest in Canada. So if you wanted to play for somebody, you were playing for the deer in the backyard,
Little different.
Yeah. So I do appreciate that New York has so much to offer. But I also have to say, I love when we go out to the smaller towns and we see people just pack into these rooms because this is the event of the month that there's a band happening right now. Whereas New York, you can go out anytime. We could go out right now and we could see jazz, classical, soul, funk, and I could tell you like 10 different places you could see each of these kinds of music here. So there is so much happening. It's a melting pot of creativity. And it's also a melting pot of people who want to be creative together. So it is a very exciting city. But, that being said, it's a tough city too. And you got to cut your teeth and, it's got its ups and downs, just like any place, I think.
I think you guys have it though, and New York was a big place back in there. I think again I mentioned Kiss earlier. Kiss was a New York band, a couple of Jewish dudes out there like working the city. And next thing you know, man, here they are in the makeup and larger than life characters and making it. I think your sound is very much like that. I think you've got a sound that people resonate with, love, and you want to maybe get to the gym or slam down your partner there and. In the horn, you know what I mean? Yeah. I really said that wrong, didn't I? Let's rewind that.
Nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it. That was even worse. All right.
No notes. No notes.
No.
The opinions of the Yo Show are not truly inflected with the opinions of Witchforce. Wow. Hate mail coming my way. Daniel, New York City, man. What's it for you?
I don't know. I see it. I've been here. So, I started here. I grew up here, and then I lived here most of my life. So it's just home, right? I don't see it as this monster to conquer. When you go out, you keep getting better at what you do, and the audience finds you. Like you have to be out there. So the hard part is just being consistent. Mm-hmm. But as far as like, if I can make it in New York, I can make it anywhere. Well, I think that comes from being consistent, being able to stay in the hustle wherever you are. New York, Canada, trees, forest, city, wherever you are, you just got to keep at it, keep consistent and enjoy the successes, because it's very easy to get wrapped up in not having a level of success you build up in your mind. Like look at what's in front of you, the people in front of you. Like we were at a show in Our Wicked Lady, a decent sized crowd, but people dancing.
Yeah. That's what I meant to say earlier when they got into slamming your partner. Dancing. More or less what I meant.
There might have been some slamming, but the smoke blocked. I couldn't see. When you see that means a lot. And that makes me feel like I've made an impression with my friends on stage. And that is a big deal. So New York has been very gracious.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And it certainly helps, I guess, Steve, if it's kind of your hometown. Like, I mean, some people make like the decision to move to New York to try to make it, or move to LA. You guys are already there. And you're like, you know what? We can take this city on, and you already are. How does New York feel to you, Steve?
Well, I'm actually from upstate, but I've been down here since the beginning of 2006. So it's been a while. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of factors to it. I guess one thing that I have felt, at least in the past couple of years, I really started playing a lot more like last year, the year before maybe. And it is tough. It's like really hard to get paid. It's really hard to like get into venues you want to get to and find audiences and all that kind of stuff. And I do think that what I've found is a lot of the people I'm meeting are really people that are like doing it because they have like the musician compulsion to do it, because it is so hard. You're not really going to do it if you're just trying to like get a buck or something. So I feel like a lot of the people I'm playing with in New York right now are, one, really good players, but two, just like people that are just in it because they want to be doing it. And it just doesn't, it feels like there's very little like, I don't know, kind of like business stuff going on.
Yeah.
People just want to play. And obviously we all have ambitions and stuff like that, but I think it's all coming from a place of like passion. That might be seeing through, rose-colored glasses, just like the people I know. But that's something that I've noticed over the past couple of years for sure.
We like that. And lastly, the guy who strikes me as the most New York of the bunch, Tommy. I might be way off, probably from Boston or something. But
No, not from Boston. Actually, I grew up out in Long Island, and so just a few
so you're
miles
truly
to
like New York.
miles to the east. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
But the thing is, I moved to New York City proper in 2013, and put together a band then, totally different kind of music, and proceeded to get completely ignored by the entire city. Just completely and utterly ignored.
So you're more or less like you're New York. You're the New York Mets, pretty much, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
You should hang up.
But it was actually good that I got that, because it was kind of like I saw the absolute worst that New York can give to you as a musician, as a struggling band. And years went by, and then I got involved in doing tribute shows, these F-bomb shows we do. That's when I ended up making friends with everybody on this call, and then put together Witchforce with this crew. And now I'm getting a completely different response from the city. And boy, oh boy, does it feel good.
Nice.
We're rolling up to places, and like it looks like it's going to be completely deserted. We're playing to tumbleweeds and crickets. And then we do our line check and hit the first song, and I look out, and the place is now filled with people, and they're all in their 20s. I assume. I mean, I can't tell anyone's age, really. I'm like, I look in the crowd, they're all 20. Next song. But it's like it's resonating with people. It's resonating with the venues we're playing, and not just in the city. As we play these shows in other cities, other outer suburbs, and everything. But boy, we're getting a good response in New York City, and boy, does it feel good to me.
I love it. Absolutely.
and I'm not taking it for granted. I'm appreciating it.
That's right.
Too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely key. We've been like just doing so much getting to know you that I didn't really get into Witchforce. Let's talk about the song we played earlier, Into the Woods. We're obviously running way past our half hour. Hope we're cool with that. But let's talk about Into the Woods, because I love that song. And that song really speaks to me and my beginning days in rock music. It feels to me like, it almost feels like going home again, if you will, even though it's a song that was just made. Super cool. We'll get everybody's take on that song. We'll start with Cassie, your take on Into the Woods and your writing process and how these songs come up.
Yeah, well, the writing credit goes to Mr. Tommy over there, who had this brainchild over COVID and brought us a bunch of music and said, "Hey guys, what can you do with this?" What I love working with Tommy, why I love working with Tommy, is he gives us great material and then he lets us play with it and within it. And so he gives me great lines, and I just get to take them and make them my own, and kind of add my own little trills and things onto it and my own little flavor. But overall, it's been an amazing experience working with these guys. Into the Woods for me, and I think it's going to mean something different for everybody else. But it's funny, growing up, I always used to say, "Oh, we're going into the woods," because I lived in the woods. But also,
sure, right?
Into the woods means like into the juice of things for me. And I think in the political climate that we have today, and in the state of the world that we have today, we don't often get into the nitty gritty enough. I think we're living in black and white surfacial lives right now, and we're either for or against each other. And I think that this song, for me at least, drives home this idea that we need to get into our thoughts and ideas more. We need to get into again, community, and communicating more. And some of the lines here are, we can't find our way into the woods, right? We're kind of riding blind, and we're riding blind through a lot of stuff. And we're trying to find connection. We're trying to find magic. We're trying to find interaction with each other. And this song, for me anyways, kind of breeds this idea that we need more of that. We need more connection. We need to find a way to get into the nitty gritty with each other, and to get into those deeper conversations, and to start understanding each other from a deeper level. And for me, that's kind of what I portray when I'm living through that song. I know that everybody has their own idea of what that song means to them, but for me, I think it's about getting into the juice, and it was a fun song to release first, because it's that idea of come on in, get into the juice with Witchforce. You know, we're gonna talk, we're gonna open your minds, we're gonna try and communicate and be with you and hopefully have friends and make friends through this amazing process. And we're a small enough band, guys, that if you love us, come talk to us on our Instagram. We're gonna back. Come message us. You know, we'd love to hear from you. We give away free t-shirts and tickets off our Instagram all the time. So if you're interacting with us, you're definitely on our radar, and we love speaking with you.
I have to ask before we move along the room here, who works your Instagram the most? And I will apologize for my tons of messages trying to orchestrate this. I appreciate your patience.
The messages is Tommy. The posts and the weird comments are me.
Okay.
I'm always trying to see how unhinged the Witchforce Instagram can get. So come
That's
play
the
with
way.
I like that. And you know, I joke about the persistence angle. A lot of people say, how do you get these guests? I'm like, I just become a gigantic pain in the ass until I get an answer. Even if it said go to hell, stop messing me, I'm like, I've got an answer. Witchforce ain't interested. Well, at least I know. But I
hear that a lot. Like, how do you get Witchforce? I'm like, just
message us, and Tommy will get to it when it gets. We're getting better.
I can't even get these guys on the phone.
I'm always in the same room, except for one. I'm had to have a kid tonight. Of all nights.
That's right.
I know. I thought she had a baby.
Yeah, typical
every
drummer
year,
screaming.
right? Yeah, typical drummer. Every year on that kid's birthday, we have to play this episode or post it on his page or something, somewhere, somehow on his birthday. Shout out to Future Drummers of America.
Yeah, and she's our little witch. She's our new
That's
little
right.
witch. So we're very happy to have her.
Happy birthday,
love it.
Selena.
Happy birthday. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm really kind of proud to share it. Tommy, we'll get to you. Like I said, your new songs, Into the Woods and The Hunter, which we're going to play later. How cool does that feel, man? Like you're coming out with music and your singles are out there. People are listening, coming to shows, man. How's it feel?
It feels amazing. I mean, it really, really, truly feels amazing. The fact that we're finally putting this stuff out in the world. And I also want to say something, piggyback on some of the stuff that Cassie was saying. This whole crew, they're always so quick to just say, oh, you know, Tommy, you know, he writes this, blah, 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 Tommy Dizzy, you know. I need to make it 100% clear that what you're hearing on those releases, you simply would not be hearing it if it was not for everybody's participation and contribution. That needs to be 100% clear. Just because I'm writing the song does not mean the song is ever going to see the light of day and sound as awesome as it does if it was not for these people. So let's make sure that's abundantly clear.
Awesome.
And Cassie over here tends to explain these lyrics better than I even do.
That's right.
But yeah, I think I would co-sign on pretty much everything she said. I mean, basically, I was just trying to get the point across was triumphing over adversity, and the only way you're going to really do it is by working together. And I'm sure I'm wrapping it up in all this mystical, magical imagery, and there's demons and monsters and magic in the spooky, spooky woods. But that's all superficial. It's about teamwork and triumphing over adversity, and that's really the message of the song.
I like that. Even though you're Richie Blackmore the shit out of that answer with the woods and the mystical characters, still an awesome answer. Anytime I can sneak in a little Richie Blackmore, I love. Miss that guy. Love that guy. Steve, how about you, man? Your music, your stuff that you're doing as a band, the new ones are just great.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I mean, I kind of came in. Tommy said all this stuff to me, and I had just at the time gotten into this crazy power metal band called Battle Beast, and this stuff was like right in the lane, and I was just like, yeah, I honestly don't have much to add in terms of the message. I think these guys are nailing it. I mean, they to me, Tommy and Cassie are sort of the vision holders of like the impart of the songs. You know, Cassie's delivering this stuff. Tommy's written most of I guess all the lyrics at this point. And I feel like they're the ones that are sort of getting the message across. And yeah, it's always just been a thing of, you know, triumph and just positive kind of like chaos in a way, which I really appreciate. And I remember Tommy describing, I don't remember which of those songs it was, but you were like, oh, I just like imagined a Frank Frazetta painting.
That's the hunter.
Yes, that's right. That was yeah. That really resonated with me because I grew up in Frankfurt Zeta, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I'll just do that.
Daniel, how about you, man? How's it feel to have that stuff out there and getting out there? Because from what I hear from bass players, they get the most excited about new songs because, I mean, they say the beat starts here, the drum, etc. And they were saying, yeah, this riff or this lyric. But the bass, and what my wife tells me from practicing bass, is the bass feels the song first. Like you're getting that beat coming from the bassist. How's it feel, man, having your stuff out there and being a part of it?
I mean, humbling to say the least, right? The songs, like when they originally sent them to me, came off as very visual, right? I could see. I feel terrible. I thought the Into the Woods was about hiking. This is to me. But other than that,
it is to you, and that's okay.
This is the first we're hearing of this, by the way.
No, I always
exclusive stuff right here on the ocean.
It's about mushroom harvesting, actually.
Yeah, that's it. But it was when you first heard it, like, I first heard Into the Woods, I saw people in armor walking through adversity, like dirt and mud, and that kind of shapes how you play the bass to it, right? It's not on top of the beat; it's behind the beat. It's a lot of punching down, but at the same time keeping it light and victorious. Like there's an air of victory throughout all the songs. So you can't just sit on the E string. You really just got to move up the fretboard as the band wants the mood uplifted. So in that way, like it's very exciting to have those songs hit because you're like, okay, I tried to say something here. I tried to voice something in this song, and people are getting it. They're getting the lyrics. They're getting Cassie's interpretations. They're getting, Steve's just growling through these songs. They're getting the Salchi's rhythm. It's like it's working. And when you have songs like this, it's very, I'll say it's easy, but it's more intuitive to play
Totally
the right thing instead of a thing that instead of what you want, you play the right thing. And
wow.
It's very easy to do that.
That's deep. I am so highly impressed what I hear, and I tell everybody this, every musician that comes on this program. You pick up an instrument, you write a song, you sing a song, you take a stage. You're a rock star. People measure rock star by, we got to play here, we got to make this, we got to do that. No way, man. You're all rock stars. You get up there, you do the thing that people dream about doing, make it sound great. I'm telling you, because you're absolutely killing it. It's awesome. So, in my opinion, this is a rock star band that everybody should get to know and love quickly. Absolutely. Absolutely. I absolutely love it. Play the right thing. I know they're inside jokes, but I'm playing them out here anyway. I love it. Like I said, we ran long, but I want to do this. I want to give everybody, like I've been doing, everybody takes a fair crack here because I love everybody's opinion. But we're going to start with Tommy, and I want everybody to give me one musical inspiration and a real quick piece on why. Who is somebody that you admire, somebody who kind of inspires you, or somebody you kind of take after a little bit? We'll start with Tommy.
I'm going to say Tom Schultz, the guitarist mastermind behind Boston.
Nice.
Who just slaved over a hot console for as many years as it took until he managed to get the vision across the way it needed to get across, just to create art as perfect as he can get it. And I feel like the first 3 Boston records speak for themselves. He loses the plot starting with the 4th one, but that's okay.
I had a friend named Amanda, and I would play that song for her, and she's like, I love the song. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of when Boston started falling apart. But anyway. Yeah, great answer, nevertheless. Let's go with Steve. Who's your one or your few or band?
Oh man, yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I was trying to think. I mean, I guess for me, I mean, this is not a very interesting answer, but I got into Jimi Hendrix at the same time I got my first guitar, and that was just like and I think I was like, I used to like go to sleep to Hendrix growing up, and I think that all of that stuff just really like melted into everything because his playing was all over the place. You know, it's like there's never any like really like written parts or anything, and I think that sort of chaotic mishmash of different things, but all still like put together. There's always an effect to it. You know, there's like an emotional pull to all of it. It's never just like nonsense, but it's like all over the place. And I think that kind of thing is just sort of very at the root of like a lot of what I do in all respects of music. And then not to piggyback, but I also became a huge Randy Rhoads fan. And I think it's similarly because Randy Rhoads, while it's much more like put together neoclassical stuff, there's like a feeling to it that it feels like it's about to go off the rails at any second. And I think that like that kind of vibe of just like, it just feels like you're about to lose control. I think that's kind of like really what I'm always after.
Yeah, I like
this kind of music. I'm always trying to get a little more of that in these leads. I want it to feel like it's almost about to fall apart. And hopefully it actually doesn't.
Right, I agree with that. We're going to move on to Daniel. And before you answer, I hope I don't ruin your answer, but for some reason I'm getting the Geddy Lee vibes. Yes, no?
No.
No, all right. I don't want to blow the answer. I feel better now.
Although I do appreciate, the composition and the skill level, but I think my initial inspiration was somebody I didn't know the name of for years. So I grew up in a Puerto Rican household, listening to a lot of finding out all-star adjacent music. So early New Eurekan salsa from like 70s, and the bass player on those tracks was a guy named Sal Cuervas. And I grew up listening to those rhythmic patterns and those solos and a lot of stuff. Sort of ingrained into me what I just knew one day I would want to understand that noise that I was hearing. So I was like, and it ended up being his bass playing on like a mini electric Ampeg upright. That's what he was doing.
Oh, interesting.
And that, like, I think shaped a lot of what I like to hear in music. That turned into the first time I ever heard a heavy song was One of These Days by Pink Floyd. You got Roger Waters.
Yeah.
Just understanding what to do with the bass. There's nothing super flashy there, but it's all in the right place with cool effects. And I love cool effects. Yeah. And lastly, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Hi, how are you?
Josh Freese, a drummer.
That's cool.
Because he has worked with everybody. And for somebody to be that high level and have that much of a voice on his instrument, and not only does he have skill, he must know how to build relationships like nobody else. So I think as a musician, if people say, sometimes people worry, like, how am I not getting ahead? Like, it's your instrument and it's you. Like, you have to want to understand people.
Yeah, it is a lot of you. I agree. And like I said, we're always seeing the win here with who comes on the program, and a lot of these make me laugh more than I expected, and always great answers. I call musicians brilliant. You're all friggin' brilliant when you come on and just share it, because I'm mind blown by some of it. We're gonna go Cassie last, and again, hope I don't spoil it. I'm gonna guess, because a lot of the ladies say Amy Lee. Amy Lee?
No.
No, Amy. All right, so I'm over 2. No. I told you I suck at this, but okay.
However, I do love her, and shout out to Salchi, who isn't here right now. She came out with this amazing baby album of lullabies when she had her first child, and it slaps. And I'm gonna have to send that to him when we finish up here. But no, Amy Lee is amazing. I actually would love to throw some spotlight on Lisa Fisher, a name that a lot of people don't really recognize. But if we've heard Great Gig in the Sky by Pink Floyd, if we've heard a lot of the classic 80s songs, War, Murder, It's Just a Shot Away. She had a voice on almost every rock album from like the 70s and 80s. And later on in life, I was actually able to work with her. I worked at the Blue Note Jazz Club for a long time, and she did some shows there. So I used to be able to, I was her personal server when she was there, and I got to watch her live. The reason I say her is because talk about a song where you need no words to express an incredible amount of emotion. And I truly believe that music is one of those things that is transcendent, that you can be any language and any kind of person, and you hear a sound and you know what that sound makes you feel like. And we were talking about that a little bit earlier, about how Danny was mentioning how Witchforce has a feeling, right? He's writing the bass lines based on how he thinks the story is supposed to go. And I think we can tell story through sound. You hear somebody scream, you know if it's a happy scream, a sad scream, if somebody's lost somebody, if somebody's surprised because they got the best gift of their life. Like, we can hear sound and be like, I know how I feel about that. And I think Lisa Fischer is a great example with Great Gig in the Sky. I also have to give a shout out, of course, to Miss Janis Joplin, whose songs taught me how to sing, Miss Susan Tedeschi, and of course, Miss Ella Fitzgerald, who is one of my personal favorite musicians, who all taught me amazing things about how to play with music and how to be okay with a blue note, or a bum note, as they say, is one of those crunchy notes that leads to resolve, because life always has those crunchy moments that feel really bad. But once you get to those good places, oh, doesn't it feel so good? And that's, I think that's what music is all about. And I think it's about telling stories and communicating in that way. Again, communication, that special word. So I think for me, the musicians that inspire me the most are the ones who can draw emotion just through sound. And you can do that with any instrument. It doesn't have to just be the voice. We tell a story through everything that we play, and that, I think that's the artistry of what we do. So yes, William, please check out more Lisa Fischer if you can, guys. She's absolutely incredible. But I do believe that music, the bottom line, is about communication. And if we're telling a story through the sounds that we're making, I think we're doing the right thing. We're doing our job.
Wow. The reason I love answering or asking that question, first of all, to find out where you kind of get the feeling from and the inspiration from, but secondly, the four of you drew from so many different categories that it actually, in my opinion, makes your band so much better, because you're trying a little bit of everything from all your inspiration, throwing it in the middle of the room, and it works 100%. I think that's absolutely incredible. I like to say it when I say, when bands come on here, I kiss their ass. Yes, I do. Mary Clayton shout out. But
Yes.
I do, because I definitely get into what I hear. And Chris is a member of a great band locally here, the Circus Hearts, a classic rock feel, Rod Stewart and Faces and bands like that for him. And to hear where you guys went with your inspirations, I love them all. I think it's an awesome melting pot of how you bring it together. Again, everybody, Witchforce, usually I say a half hour. We're, almost close to an hour, but I do love it. I want to let everybody out there know you can find Witchforce after the show, of course. Facebook is Witchforce. Instagram, Witchforce Official. That's a tongue teaser. The music is out there on Apple, Spotify. I know it's on Apple because it's already loaded. Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Check it out. The two awesome songs, Into the Woods, we played. We're going to play The Hunter shortly after. And when you guys come out with more stuff, I'd love to invite you back. This has been so much fun. I had a great time.
Through.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. It's such a pleasure, honestly. Thank you.
We'll even let the drummer come.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. He's kind of on the...
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if we got room for a drummer in our little five-way thing here. We definitely do. Shout out to drummers. I drummed. I was horrible, and that's why I'm behind the mic here instead of out anywhere else playing drums, because I suck. So I shout out to the drummer. Do whatever you want, bud. We got you. Again, Witchforce, new songs are out. Thank you very much, Cassie, Daniel, Steve, and Tommy the Connoisseur Premium Riffage. I wish you all to have a great night. We'll do this again real soon. We'll reach out and get you back at it. Have a great time. Until then, everybody check out the links to know where to find this band live, where to find their music, and where to get more. Because from what Cassie says, the page gets a little cutting edge. So get there. Check it out. Have a great night, everybody. God bless you. It was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks, y'all.
All right. Thank you. We will slowly remove the band from the shots there. And I got to tell you, terrific. And I feel like I get pretty lucky, because everybody's like, oh, what do you pre-screen? What do you talk to agents? I'm like, no, I kind of go. I get whatever communication source they have. I reach out, and I hope for the best. And I'll be damned if I don't get the best. Tonight was awesome. The inspirations, the stories, the music, the camaraderie. This is a band that gets it, really gets it, about taking everybody's opinions and their pieces and etc., and make it work. Thank you, too. Some great comments, William. We appreciate it. And like Chris will say, Chris, like the Circus Arts, a terrific rock band. There's work to be done. Definitely. You can never be just satisfied because you could always be better. And Chris says, one fan at a time. Just get one fan at a time to like you, to appreciate you, to listen to you, and go from there. And I love that, and I try to do that here on the program as well. Witchforce? Yeah, let's do more music. How about it? I say we share it from YouTube, so hopefully it comes out pretty good. We know the song's great. This is The Hunter, which is a song about rock climbing. That's all great. I love it. Let's play here another awesome song by tonight's guest, Witchforce. And you can find this music out there right now. Like I said, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. It's already on my phone. Get it on your phone. Get it everywhere. Witchforce, The Hunter. It's about 4 minutes and 46 seconds. We'll play it here live. We'll do a little more chat when we come back. This is the O Show live Wednesday night. Thank you.
Wrapped in black, bloodstains
And that is freaking awesome. That is the Hunter, tonight's very special guest, Witchforce. And I saw the call out by our good friends, great band Up 24, that used to play a show with Philly's Breaker. And Steve came back and said that they played with Breaker a few months ago. They're awesome. Claire was on our program. Love Breaker. And when I posted tonight's show, Claire had liked it on one of the pages. So obviously these two awesome bands have meshed before, which is absolutely great. That's great stuff. And shout out to Claire and the gang at Breaker as well. Philly's finest. Thanks, Up 24. My wife is in the house. The other Cassie, my Cassie, the singer from the band, was also Cassie, but a big yo from Aruba, as my wife enjoys a little vacation. And she said, come with. And I'm like, wait a minute, Tuesday, Wednesday? You know I got to be here. She yoed me again, but that's okay. Again, she is playing bass. Daniel, of course, from the band, of course, Witchforce, wants you to keep at it. Hey, Jeff, I got my phone back, and I let Jordan free. What's up, family? Ethan Simons, what is up? What's up, Up 24? Everybody doing it. She's homesick. You know what it is? The Yo Show makes you feel like you're at home. You can just see this awesome live in-person studio thing. You're going to hate the looks of it when you get home because it is everywhere. The magic, the great artists that were just on will tell you. She'll be back this weekend, and she wants to get to that Key concert series like we all do. I will remind everybody, Up 24 gives a hey Cassie right back. I will remind everybody about this awesome show we got coming up. Phenomenal band. I already have a lineup in mind for Witchforce to play Key concert series. Hey, if you guys want to come down to the PA area, we would love to have you. Absolutely. That would be awesome. My wife misses the dogs in the house. Right now we're doing music. Don't make me get sappy. I'm just kidding. I'm sappy. But I want to remind everybody out there, if you're in the area, you watch live, you watch recorded, get here June 28th, the Cosmic Arts Studios in Pottstown, PA, 310 East High Street. We do one of these Key concert series that John Simon spoke of. And what we do is we get 4 bands, we get a great venue, and we have an awesome night of it. And this time, no exception, Crooked Ways are in the house. Darkfly out of Philly, the Grim Jacks, of course, our great friends, and the Jaspers, Saturday, June 28th. Now, Cosmic Art Studio is a double whammy. You get a great rock stage, you also have a great acoustic stage, and downstairs will be at the Cosmic Art T-Bar. 2 bands that we absolutely love. Burden of Guilt, Josh and Reese in the house, and of course, the wonderful Miss Sophia and Justina, June 28th. Tickets available at the door. Make sure you get their Key concert series. We are bringing artists together. The other Cassie tells, see, this Cassie tells me I'm amazing. You're amazing, Jeff. Thanks for having us. We would love to. Hey, we're always trying to do it. We had a band, I believe, Undefeated was the name, from the New York area, come down and share a stage with us. And we're trying, man. Like I said, you never know who's going to show up, but the show goes on, man. And you guys inspire me. You really do. I love everything I hear and see, and very impressive stuff. Dan said, sounds good at John Simons. Thank you. Hey, we would love to do it, man. We'd love to have you come down here and give the Philly people a taste of New York and vice versa. Like I said, Breaker, you guys, all kind of great stuff. We love great music here at the show. When the show started, even my wife said it, when I started the show, there was all different directions. There was really no set direction. Like, oh, we're going to have an actor, an actress, this, that, the other thing. And then Jules said, let's do music. Let's do original music. Let's do Philly music. Let's do up-and-coming artists. And I loved it. And my wife said, yeah, now you got a little bit of a direction. You're kind of heading on a path. And that's cool. We don't be like locked into a box of just being music, but music is something huge to me. And the community, like Cassie said. And my wife, Cassie, is the best Cassie. And, of course, a lot of love to my darling wife. But now, like I said, for me getting into music, going to shows, buying the merch, downloading and streaming and getting them on here. And then my wife got into it, started playing bass, goes with me to the shows, learns those bands, shares them with friends. That's what it's all about. Like Christian Ecker said, one fan at a time. You start with me, you get my wife, and she likes to talk to the world, so if she says it, chances are it's going to happen. Great love, John Simons. Thanks again to Witchforce. I'm going to sneak a little something here. I know I'm not supposed to do this. If Facebook blocks it, make sure you hang on to us here at YouTube. I want to just give you a little piece of Witchforce doing a cover of Peace Sells by Megadeth. And the reason why, because I want you to see them how they perform on stage, how cool this band is when they get on stage, as well as how they were here. So check out this little, we'll play a little clip of it because probably can't play the whole song. But we just want everybody to get a feel of Witchforce. And we'll be back in a couple minutes here on the Yo Show. We'll talk about who's coming up in the next few weeks. Stick around. Be right back.
What do you mean I don't believe in God? Talk to me. What do you mean I don't support your system? I go to court when I have to. What do you mean I don't show up to work on time? I got nothing better to do. What do you mean I don't pay my bills? What? You think I'm broke? Huh?
Oh, yeah.
If there's a new way, I'll be the first in line. But it better work this time. Oh, yeah. What do you mean I hurt your feelings? I didn't know you had any feelings. What do you mean I'm not kind? I'm just not your kind. What do you mean I can't be the president of the United fucking States of America? Tell me something. It's still we the people. Right! If there's a new way, I'll be the first in line. But I better work this time. Oh. Can you put a price on peace? Peace sells. Peace sells. Who sells? But who's buying? 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 He sells, 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 but who's buying? No! No, 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 no. He sells.
That was freaking awesome. And I lied. I said I was going to play a little snippet of it. I played the whole damn thing. Because remember, on that little disclaimer at the bottom of StreamYard, the site we use, it said if videos are shared to YouTube by the original creator, then they are shareable on StreamYard. So why not? Peace sells. Who's buying? Witchforce, tonight's very special guest on the Yo Show. They were absolutely terrific. Love them. Great conversation. Great time. TwitchCon tickets are on sale. How about that? Time has come. TwitchCon. We will be there. The Yo Show. Rock on. Thank you, Cassie. Great performance. John Simon's phenomenal performance. I said, want to book them. Let's do it. Witchforce. Let's get them out here to PA. Show people how it's done. Remember, man, rock music is a great way to bring people together on so many levels. Great artists, great performers, great fans, great people, great stories. Rock sells. Who's buying? I'm friggin' buying. Let's take a look at who's coming up on the Yo Show. Got a lot of shows still going on through the summer. Tuesdays and Wednesday nights. And so we are getting ever so close to the return of Joel Tatey to the Yo Show. That'd be wonderful. Coming up on the show, of course, tonight was Witchforce, July 1st. Next Tuesday, Ashley Caroline from the band New Dilemma. Looking forward to that. All that time, I never knew she was a singer. And she's like, hey, dude, how about my band? Absolutely, New Dilemma and Ashley Caroline on July 1st. July 2nd, we get into the world of female fitness and competition with a good friend of mine, Yelena Rashina. She was a client of mine back in the days when I worked at Acura. And got in touch through mutual friends, and I seen she started doing these competitions. I'm like, this is something that we want to get into on the show. We love doing different stuff. Cassie is awesome. All Cassies are awesome. Everybody should be a Cassie. She'll be there Saturday, key concert. Look forward to that. My wife back in the house. I love it. But July 2nd, we're going to talk about 4th of July, too. See if we've got any plans. Yelena Rashina will be in the house to talk about female fitness. July 8th, singer Anna Christina Cashman in the program. July 9th, a local artist that I love, Abby Lee. July 15th, you want to talk about rock and metal music. You want to talk about one of my absolute new favorite bands out there. I got to see them at the 717 Entertainment 400th show that weekend. The absolutely powerful and sensational Atlas at Hold, July 15th. Make sure you check it out. Two singers, a scream and a clean, and it definitely is an awesome sound. July 15th, Atlas at Hold. July 23rd, Carly Matista. July 29th, we welcome back Tim Johnson Jr. Tim, a local Philly guy who was on years ago before we even had video. Back when we were just an audio show. God, remember those days? A lot of you probably won't. No, Cassie and Cassie just being big Cassie fans. There is Kim in the house, and we miss Kim as well. Can't wait for all the music going on this weekend, and can't wait for all the things that are coming up here on the Yo Show. I said July 29th. Tim Johnson Jr. We used to do big things around Halloween. We're going to kick off the Halloween season September 23rd. We welcome back our dear friend, Kelsey Livingood. This time she's coming in makeup as Mischief the Clown. I couldn't be more excited for this. She's awesome. She was great on the program. She's got this awesome character, Mischief. And she said, I'm bringing Mischief the Clown September 23rd to kick off Halloween season. We do have other shows that just got booked. We have to announce to you July 9th. Oh, we had that. We got July 9th. July 22nd, our good friends from Moonroof are back on the program. They are currently doing a little tour throughout the United States. We had them at Key Concert Series. They've been on the show a few times. We love them. Moonroof, July 22nd. Tuesday, August 5th. I'm going to talk metal. I'm going to talk about metal guys. I'm going to talk about one of the best names out there right now in the PA area, Suicide Puppets. Come to the Yo Show on August 5th. They're badass. August 6th, more metal music as Whalefall comes on to the Yo Show. Another great local artist. That and many more as we continue to book great bands, have great conversations and great times here on the Yo Show. Family together again, June 28th, Cosmic Art Studio in Pottstown, Yes, Moon Roofers. I mean, what a great performance. All the times I had them on the show. So excited to see them live. And then it was just tremendous. They're so great. And they're awesome dudes. Shout out to Moon Roofers to be coming back with us for got a third visit. And in case you just tuned in or you're tuning in recording, you're like, what are they talking about? June 28th. We're talking about this Key Concert Series. It's Rockfest, June 28th. Cosmic Art Studio, 310 East High Street, Pottstown, PA. Crooked Ways, Dark Fly, the Grimjacks, the Jaspers, downstairs at the Acoustic T-Bar, Burden of Guilt, Justina and Sophie, or Justina and Sophie, I said Sophia, Justina and Sophie, all this, all these bands. Get your tickets, come on out. You see what we do here, you see we bring great music to everybody, great rock bands, all that great stuff. Let's see. What we got. Can't wait to do this. Got a great lineup. It's going to be so awesome. I better see, and I'm talking about grandmas too. Yeah, better see everyone and the grandmoms. Buy your tickets. Come out see Ethan and Tristan Simons, as well as Jordan, if he's not still locked in the trunk. The Grimjacks. John Simons, of course, helps, does the majority of the work. Him and Kim do a bulk of the work to get these programs off. Shout out to them. Shout out to SRR Promotions and Stu and Malcolm. And yeah, man, it's a great thing. It's a great thing. We love it, man. We love having and seeing bands play and working together with them and getting things set up. It's really big for us, and we adore that. Let's go to the emoji section. We got hearts, of course, from Kimberly. Thank you, Kim. JD Wolf with the heart, and my man Rich Buscemi, another big music fan, quite like myself. Thank you, Rich. Thumbs up from Miguel Santiago. Wow, what is up, dude? Good to see your thumb out there. My man Steve Giordano and Michael Petty. We love Michael. Michael became a fan of ours, watching Eternal Frequency and ML Elizabeth do appearances on our show. He said, I like the show. Check it out sometime. Shout out to everybody. You're the real MVPs. The people that come in and tune in every Tuesday and Wednesday nights. And I hope, man, you're taking those few seconds to download these bands and their music. And if you like them a little bit more, you go to all the links. And if you like them a lot more, you buy merch and download music. That's what it's all about. That's what keeps everybody going. I did forget to do something. I do know. I forgot to do a couple checks. We'll do that right now as we come near the end of the night. And it is our Philadelphia Phillies, once again leaving the bats at home, losing 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the sixth. They didn't learn from last night. Get some hits. Get some runs. They have 4 lousy hits tonight. Zach Wheeler is pitching incredible. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts. Don't make last night happen again this way. Let's get a win tonight. Hate the Astros. Still swear they cheat. NBA draft is this evening. And, of course, everybody expects Cooper Flagg to go number 1. Of course. We do have... Where are we at here? Well, we already have a bunch of picks. And I don't know how to set it. Wants me to watch it. Now I don't want to watch it. Anyway... Cooper Flagg. I want to see who the Sixers took, and I can't. That's all right. Just win, damn it, Sixers. Had enough of your nonsense. Really have. So again, next Tuesday, Ashley Caroline, New Dilemma. Look forward to that. We look forward to Key Concert Series this weekend. Massive thank you, of course, to Witchforce for coming out here today and just talking some great stuff and giving us great music. Once again, find Witchforce after the show. Facebook page, pretty simple, Witchforce. Instagram is Witchforce Official. Their music is out right now. Apple Music, I can testify to that. Spotify, YouTube, all over the place. Thank you, Daniel. Dan said we had a blast. I had a blast having you guys. Really a lot of fun. I love bands, and when they all come on and they all have like their own little block, and we just go around the room and get everybody's opinion. And every question was great. Everybody took great time to really deliver some true grit answers. We love it. We're going to take it out a little bit early, about 10 minutes normally. We usually end at 10, but we'll get out of here tonight at 10 of 10. And again, a massive thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. Me, work again tomorrow. Someday, like they said, the Joe Rogan thing. Tom said it when it first came out. Yeah, man, give me some Joe Rogan money. And I'll do this every night of the week, I promise. Until then, work calls. We're going to leave with the song Better Days by our good friends at Bryn Athyn because I wore their shirt tonight. And they've been putting up just incredible shows at Sweeney's on some of these Saturday nights that absolutely packs the house. And they're such a great band, such great dudes. And again, buy the merch. Better Days from the Huffman Road album by Bryn Athyn. This has been the Yo Show. Thanking each and every one of you. We'll see you Tuesday night. Until then, like, subscribe anywhere you can because that's how you keep up with all of us. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you Tuesday night.